serikali wakiomba msamaha. Wacha tusikie wale watu wameharibu projects zenye rais amekuwa akisukuma, wameomba msamaha kwa Wakenya. It's not enough ya kupelekwa nyumbani, lakini sema pole.
Kufuta waziri peke yake haitoshi. Kama kweli rais anatusikiza, hata hao makatibu, hao permanent secretaries, PSs lazima pia watolewe kwa kazi. Wakifanya hivyo, tutaona kweli anasikiza vile wananchi wanasema. Nao katika kuchagua wengine, itabidi sasa asikize wananchi vizuri. Hiyo cabinet alikuwa nayo ilikuwa ni wale watu walimpigia kura, wale walimshika mkono kuingia uongozini. Lakini Wakenya wamesema hiyo hatutaki tena. Hii nchi ni ya kila mtu.
Kenya Kwanza leaders in North Rift have told Kenyans to be ready for an all-inclusive government that will represent the face of Kenya despite their political affiliations. Speaking at an event in Baringo County, the UDA MPs, led by Baringo North MP Joseph Makilap and his Baringo South counterpart Charles Kamuren, said the Gen Z countrywide protests has prompted the president to form a government of national unity and urged Kenyans to embrace it as it's the only way forward towards uniting the country and to address matters raised by the youth. They also lauded the president's decision to dissolve cabinet, saying it was to create room to include the youth in the country's governance.
Tunafurahi kwa sababu mkurugenzi, mtendakazi, area admin, viongozi machifu wale waliokuwa.
So kuelekea hapo mbele, tumekubalia rais ashirikiane na Wakenya wale wote walete ndani ya serikali, ndio Wakenya wote waweze kufaidika, kwa sababu yeye ndio rais ya Wakenya wote regardless of how they voted. So we've agreed with the president that expand the political space, let us have political strength in parliament, let us have political stability in our country so that we can be able to build a prosperous Kenya. Hiyo tumekubaliana na rais. So mkiona hapo mbele watu wengine wakiletwa ndani ya serikali, mchue ni ile kustabilize serikali. So watu wengi wataingia kwa serikali.
Waje tutarajie ile mawaziri utatutolea kulingana na mwito ya Wakenya. Sisi kama wajumbe tuko tayari kurudi bungeni na kusahisha kuambatana na sheria kwa ajili ya mpangilio, kwa sababu Kenya hii lazima tuende pamoja. So rais, tuko na wewe, tunakuunga mkono na tutasimama pamoja na wewe, utuongoze, utuelekeze mwelekeo mpya katika Kenya hii, ili hii Kenya iwe kubwa, kila mmoja apokelewe. Haina makosa sisi kila mmoja akipokelewa katika Kenya hii. Tutaungana pamoja, tutaenda barabara moja.
And staying on that beat, Machakos Deputy Governor Francis Mwangangi has called on President William Ruto to ensure his next cabinet reflects the face of the country, devoid of issues that will spark anger by Kenyans. The move by President William Ruto to dissolve his cabinet continues to elicit different reactions among leaders across the country.
Lakini isikuwe ni kusikizana ya wanaume wawili. Out of pressure from Generation Z. Ndio ikuwe sasa wengine watupwe nje, ndio maybe ODM ipate nafasi.
I want to thank the president of this country because he was smart enough to see where these kids were going to. He listened, he gave them an ear. So we need to see that change coming. Na rais yasikie vizuri kwa sababu amefuta CS wake, lakini tunataka kuona ataweka kina nani. We want people, technocrats, who can work for us and deliver for this country.
Let's shift focus, and the University of Nairobi student leaders have demonstrated to oppose the new funding model introduced to finance students' needs in universities across the country. Speaking at the university grounds, the students say the new model is expensive and does not accommodate all students as required. They urge the ministry to reinstate previously used model for easy accessibility of the financial service. They condemned poor leadership in the University of Nairobi for the mess in the facility, calling on President William Ruto to intervene and resolve the leadership wrangles that have plagued the institution.
This administration hiked the fees that the students pay for accommodation without really improving the situation in the hostels. That is why we are here. If we
If we are paying 42,000, let the situation in the hostels be 42,000. That is why we are here. Comrades, power! Power!
So I want the administration and the government to address this issue for us. By the time we open schools, it's either we get new buildings or we won't come to these hostels. Comrades, power!
Power! Students do not get the services that commensurate the money that they are paying. Yes. So kindly, please, the president come in charge. The president was a student here, by the way. Yeah. So please come and sanitize this place the way you sanitize the cabinets. Otherwise, mwanguke na yote.
We thank the president for disbanding the cabinet because the CS was meddling with the working of the council of the university. They were supposed to be meeting today. We call upon the president to ask the council to do its work and people to go home.
Elsewhere, chaos erupted at the Kakamega Referral Hospital morgue after a group of youths stormed in the morgue on Friday to demand the bodies of Caroline Shiramba and Regan Ouko, who died during the June protests that rocked the country against the Finance Bill 2024. The youth are alleged to have wanted to take the bodies from the morgue to the county government offices in Kakamega County. Judith Cherono Omondi with the details.
The irate youth got into a confrontation with police in Kakamega town after being denied access to the county government premises where they had intended to take the bodies of two colleagues. Caroline Shiramba, alongside that of Regan Ouko, who died 2 weeks ago during the recent protests that were witnessed in most towns in the country.
Kwa hivyo tunaomba tu askari watupatie amani, tuomboleze vizuri, tumtoe mochari, tupeleke penye alikuwa anaishi, kisha tumtoe hapo, tumpeleke nyumbani, twende tumzike. Sisi hatuna maneno. Tumeridhika na tunasema tu asanti kwa polisi ambaye aliua.
According to the family members of the deceased lady, they informed journalists that their kin was not among the protesters as has been alleged, adding that they demand justice for their kin.
Nasuiliwa. Polisi akafa, akatolewa mochari akapelekwa kwake. Inakuwaje sisi tutoe karo mochari tupeleke tu nyumbani bila kwa boma yake? Na tunaomba serikali tafadhali tuchukue huyu mwili tupeleke kwa nyumba yake kwa utaratibu kama kimila. Tukitoka hapo tunampeleka pahali tunaenda kusika huko Busirwa.
The youths have called on the county government of Kakamega to waive the hospital bills for those who were injured during the protests.
We are not happy. We told the government to respect life, but the government is taking away our lives. Our sister is now going at home, a dead person, because of this government that does not respect life. Tafadhali serikali. Tunaomba serikali yote iende nyumbani. We are not done with the CSS and what.
Judith Cherono Omondi, NTV, Kisumu.
Now, bang worth 3.5 million Kenya shillings and several cartons of counterfeit alcoholic beverages have been destroyed at the Isiolo Law Court grounds following conclusion of the respective cases of illegal brews in the region. Speaking at the court grounds, the Chief Magistrate Lucy Mutai said the move was aimed at ensuring the outlawed substances are wiped out of the market and never find their way back to the locals. She noted that the issue of bang and other illegal substances was a serious concern, with many people committing serious offenses, urging members of the public to join hands with the relevant authorities to fight the vice. Over 120 kilograms of bang was seized together with other counterfeit alcoholic drinks during the operations in the region.
And I want to laud the efforts of the courts here in Isiolo. In other areas, courts have been a major impediment towards the fight against drugs and substance abuse, and we are happy.
We really want to make sure that Isiolo remains a better, a clean place for our children, so that tomorrow and the day after we'll have so many people coming to do so many businesses, developing the county. Because if we allow the dirty games to remain out there, the development will be a thing of the past.
Now, NTV at 1 takes a very short break. We're back with much more.
The moment I feel my pain starting to fade, it's like I'm going back to myself on a really good day.
Panadol Extra releases you from strong pain. Panadol, release starts here.
Acne-prone skin, marks? Stop. Try new Garnier Charcoal Serum with 4% AHA, BHA and charcoal. The first black serum with no residue. Clinically proven to reduce pimples and acne marks. New Garnier AHA, BHA Charcoal Serum. Approved by dermatologists by Garnier Naturally.
The moment has arrived. Stay connected for every medal moment from the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. Get closer to your champions with Supersport on DSTV, the home of entertainment.
Okay, great. So we are back. Finally, we're back. A lot has happened. COVID happened. A Drautica happened. Elections happened. Gen Z happened. And we've happened. Nikita aliletwe na Millie Chebet. Very energetic, ako pale. The next thing, naambiwa anataka kuimba peke yake. And I think I hosted one show with Nikita Kering, and you could see the passion that the girl had. So tumerudi, tumeanza. Friday 19th tunaanza Crawl the First Show at Carnival Simba Saloon. Before tufikirie kwenda na huko, na huko, na huko, mmekuwa mkitu invite.
And people come in and they're like, oh, it works. I can have ice cream and I'm not in any discomfort. I recommend Sensodyne because it works. It's brilliant.
Welcome back to NTV at 1. Kenya University Students' Organization CUSO President Anthony Macharia has hailed President William Ruto for dismissing his cabinet, however, asking him to reconstitute a cabinet that gives hope and inspires confidence that can be trusted by people. CUSO now proposes that only new faces should be factored in equal number of youth and women with at least 2 CSs who are Gen Zs. CUSO is also pushing for a competent education CS with integrity, while also keen to scrap off the new education funding model for universities.
We expect these governments to compel the private sector to create more job opportunities, not job opportunities alone, internships, paid internships. I must emphasize on that. Paid internships and attachments. They should be able to woo the trust of those young people by creating more job opportunities, by also reforming the National Youth Council, which has been very much inactive for a long time. The National Youth Council should be able to be dissolved. The Parliament should compel the National Youth Council to conduct elections, and the people who should be at the helm, they should be very much competent. They should be people who are the true voices of the people.
The Public Service Commission interns cutting across different professions are calling on the government to offer them job opportunities. The interns were trained under the PSE internship program. After completion, none of them they were offered jobs despite the commission having different entry job openings. In solidarity, more than 50,000 interns across the country have resolved to hold protests this Monday to compel the commission to offer the young people jobs. The interns have decried joblessness and its impact after completion of their internship period.
They have trained over 50,000 youths, Public Service Commission. Now, hakuna any future for them. They have damned them. So we are calling the government to address our concern.
We have had over 50 job positions since 2019. These job positions are filled by people from outside the internship program. It is not only affecting the people at the public service, it's also affecting the interns at the Ministry of ICT. The digital literacy program interns, plus the KRA interns, this also includes the county interns. There were also some interns from Ministry of Health. through the Public Service Commission called UHC interns. These people, they were deployed during the time of Corona. They have suffered really here outside. Our cries to the Public Service Commission have fallen to deaf ears. And sometimes when you go there, when these interns go there, they are intimidated by the officers because they know exactly what happens there inside.
Now, the Rural Urban Private Hospitals Association of Kenya is accusing the Ministry of Health for overlooking loopholes which have led to the decline in payments to health facilities under the NHIF. While advocating for the new transition, the social health authorities say these gaps have now led to lack of drugs in health facilities as there has not been clear transition guidelines, thus affecting healthcare across the country.
We are for reforms. We support reforms. We think that NHIF should be reformed. And from the word go, we have been behind the president and the minister. That's why I said we have cooperated every step of the way. Our problem is that we think that it's been too rushed. It's like we are trying to get to some finish line that we must get tomorrow. And you can see the effect of that. Because once you start doing things in a rush, you end up with these constitutional problems that we have seen.
The Ministry of Health is continuing with the registration process for the Social Health Authority, which is set to replace the National Hospital Insurance Fund. This comes as the court ruled against the new Social Health Insurance Act, terming it as unconstitutional. Speaking in Kapsawar in Elgeyo Marakwet County, Acting Director General for Health, Dr. Patrick Amoth, said the new health insurance scheme will help ease the healthcare burden in the country. He further said that the SHIF packages are more beneficial and comprehensive as compared to what was being offered under NHIF. Despite backlash pertaining the removal of Linda Mama, Dr. Amoth said the new scheme will also cover pregnant women as there's an increased package on the delivery fees that is covered under the SHIF.
Malipo ya wale watu wa mapato ya chini itakuwa ni shilingi 300 kwa mwezi, kutoka kwa ile ilikuwa mbeleni ya 500. Na kuna wenzetu ambao hawataweza kujilipia. Hawa sasa serikali itachukua hilo jukumu la kuwahakikishia kwamba wamejiandikisha na pia wamelipiwa bima yao. Malipo ya wale watu wa mapato ya chini itakuwa ni shilingi 300 kwa mwezi, kutoka kwa ile ilikuwa mbeleni ya 500. Na kuna wenzetu ambao hawataweza kujilipia. Hawa sasa serikali itachukua hilo jukumu la kuwahakikishia kwamba wamejiandikisha na pia wamelipiwa bima yao.
Residents of Getoge, Mathioya constituency in Murang'a County are up in arms after the area member of parliament Edwin Mugo moved to reallocate a 40 million Kenya shilling clean water project without consulting them. Through a letter in February, the over 40 million last mile water connectivity project by Athi Waterworks targeted supplying water into their homes, but the member of parliament through a letter this month wants the money reallocated to purchase about 16,000 litres water tanks for primary and secondary schools within Mathioya constituency. The residents noted that the last mile water project would have helped them shorten the trips they have been making in search of clean drinking water from nearby rivers. Denyeka Ngare, a resident, said that reallocation is ill-advised and asked the Athi Water Board to ensure the project delivers clean water to the residents.
Ukiwa unaweza kuenda kibarua, unaamuka saa 11. Uchote maji ya ng'ombe mitungi 2 na ya nyumba mitungi 2. Na kibarua unaingia saa 2. Kwa hivyo unachelewa kuingia kibarua juu ya kuchota maji.
Chenye kinatusubua ni kuona ati MP anataka kuzuia hii project juu sio watu wake wanafanya hii kazi. One, kazi yenye tulimpea wenye bado wanapea kazi zake ndio anataka waingie hapo na hakuna kitu wanatufanyia. Sisi kabisa hatutaki MP aingilie hii mambo ya maji. Aache iendelee, hatutaki kujua maji itafika aje manyumbani, bora tuletewe maji.
And staying in the central region, 500 youth from Geshogo constituency in Kirinyaga County are set to enroll for new courses offered by a technical and vocational training institute, which is set to be opened mid next month. The institution, which is first of its kind in the constituency, is set to save youth the agony of seeking education in other areas such as Nairobi and Embu counties. Speaking during inspection of the final completion of the institution, the principal, Joseph Kememia, stated that the institution has a capacity to host 3,000 students, and hence they have called upon the churches and the national government administrators to reach out to the youth, encouraging them to take advantage of the lucrative technical courses. Gishogo constituency has been lagging behind compared to other 3 constituencies in Kirinyaga, where TVETs have been operational for some time.
You do not have to travel all the way to Nairobi to go and access education. That means you will have saved in terms of transport, for where you, let's say you have your accommodation, you can have accommodation from your home, and from the comfort of your home area, you can get that skill that you want. The college is quite big, as they are done by the Ministry of Education to have a capacity of 3,000 while starting, and therefore the college has a capacity of 3,000. We have a variety of courses, simply because once you are registered with TVETA, the body that regularizes
Well, it's time for the sports update, and the Nation Classic Golf Series is currently underway at the Nyali Golf and Country Club in Mombasa. On Friday, the Nation Media Group, led by the Group Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Steve Kitagama, the Coast Bureau Chief Valentine Obara, visited Kwajomvu Comprehensive School as part of its corporate social responsibility pillars. NMG interacted with staff and students to learn about the school's rich history. Kwajomvu School has over 2,000 pupils. Action teed off Saturday morning at the Nyali Golf and Country Club.
Valentine mwanafunzi mmoja.
Elsewhere, Kenyan athletes who are headed to the Olympics underwent a financial literacy workshop that was organized by the National Olympic Committee of Kenya and Safaricom. The athletes were taught on how to invest their income and to be financially stable in the future. The athletes in attendance were 2-time Olympic champion Eliud Kipchoge and Faith Kipyegon, among other athletes. They also learned more about media engagement and personal branding. The Kenyan Olympic contingent has already begun departing for Paris in batches, with the national rugby sevens team Shujaa, the Malkia strikers and sprinter Ferdinand Omanyala currently in Miramas in France for the pre-Olympics camp ahead of the start of the games on the 26th of this month to the 11th of August.
Financial fitness, as I've said, is a state of being financially healthy. That is managing your money effectively.
I urge my fellow athletes, let's invest in what we get. Let's, when we get 20 bob, let's eat 10 bob and put aside 10 bob. It will help us in the future.
Inatuelimisha kuwa maisha ya baadaye itakuwa ngumu, ambaye ukichezea ile yenye uko nayo kidogo, unafaa uchunge ndio at least siku zijazo ambaye utaweza kukimbia, utaweza kumanage.
And finally, England midfielder Declan Rice said that the English team was hungry and talking among themselves about how much they wanted to win the Euro title ahead of the upcoming final against Spain. England, who last won the title in 1966, will face off against the Spanish on Sunday at 10 p.m.
Again, it's a massive moment for our nation. You know, getting to the final back in 2020, you obviously don't think that moment could be topped, but obviously we're now back in another final back-to-back, which is history in itself.